David Moyes' record against the established Big Six is poor. 1 win and 7 defeats in 10. And that was evidence again last weekend with a dreary 1-0 defeat at Manchester United. Meanwhile, Mikel Arteta may have to start considering different priorities within the Europa League, likely offering a better route to success. However, it is the Premier League and the race for European football, Matt, is still on, even though it was a rubbish result last week, rubbish team selection. However, welcome back to West Ham Irons United. My name is Anton. I'm joined by Matt. Matt, Arsenal, what's your thoughts, mate?
I'm not sure. We sort of probably came on. We're sort of looking at their results, and they've picked up. You know, they've sort of steadied the ship. I know at the start of the season they were really struggling, but Arteta sort of found a bit of form. They're starting to win the games they should win. They're still in Europe. I mean, they rested half the team the other night. It's an unpredictable one. They're a team I don't like playing because there's always someone in that team that you know will step up. Used to be the likes of Walcott. I mean, Aubameyang loves scoring against us. It's one of them games.
Who else doesn't know? I mean, you've got, mate, you're talking about Aubameyang like scoring against us, but so does Lacazette. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we've got, you know yourself, mate, we've got players left, right and centre throughout many clubs who definitely like scoring against West Ham. Anyway, we could go into it ourselves. You would get absolutely bored shitless with us two talking about the opposition team. And as we do week in and week out, we always bring an opposition fan on. So it's time to talk the opposition. It's time to talk Arsenal. Please, everyone, welcome Lee. Lee, how you doing, mate? You okay?
Loving the graphics, man. I can't lie. The intro was good. That little intro there was good. And appreciate you guys having me on as well, man.
Yeah, honestly, mate. Yeah, thanks very much for coming on to the channel. Lee, just for any of our viewers who don't know who you are, could you just let them know and where to find you, etc.? If they want to go watch some Arsenal content, of course.
Well, I'm an Arsenal fan that triggers our whole fan base, mate, if I'm being honest. Yeah, a lot of people get upset by me being so raw and blunt, but I ain't changing for anyone. So I'm 38. I'm 39 in June. I've seen Arsenal win 5 league titles. I've seen us win 9 FA Cups, cup doubles. I've seen us win 2 league cups, a cup winners' cup. I've seen us win multiple finals. I've been at finals when we've lost. Been at finals when we won. The last FA Cup final, well, not the last one, but the one against Chelsea, I was there. And yeah, man, I'm mad passionate about my football club, but I've seen us smash down the beautiful stadium to come and compete with the best in the world, and we're 10th. And I'm kind of nervous about this game tomorrow, if I'm honest. Really, really nervous. I know your record against us is pretty poor, and I think we've done the double over you 11 seasons.
Okay, now. I mean, Lee, literally, you started off your intro by just telling me how many trophies you've won, and I'm sitting here. Listen, I'm 37.
I could go for how many. That's how many I've seen since I've been born.
But that's what I'm trying to say. I'm 37, and I'm like, I've seen us win an Intertoto Cup final. I've seen us win a playoff final. I've seen us be beaten. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's just ramming it home. I'm like, oh shit.
To me, you're so entitled. Like, it's not that I'm entitled. It's that like my standards are up here. I've grown. Like my first memory of Arsenal, like proper memory of Arsenal, was my mum and dad letting me sit and watch Anfield '89. Like it was on a Friday night. Sat in front of the TV. I didn't realise the magnitude of the game at the time. I was only just turning 7, but I still remember them letting me stay up and watch it. And then obviously, as you grow older, you realise how big an achievement that was. But like my standards, they ain't dropping. Like they ain't dropping. I've seen this club be rubbish. I've seen them be good, and I've seen them be great. Yeah, and that's why a lot of Arsenal fans just don't like what I've got to say. I actually get on better. I actually prefer non-Arsenal fans to follow me rather than Arsenal fans following me, because like, you know, my channel, like, to be fair, my channel is pretty decent in terms of the comments and stuff like that, because when I started saying about Arteta, because I can't stand him, mate, I can't stand him, and I said it before, big up Josh as well. Yeah, and I said about Arteta, I didn't want him before he got the job. 3 weeks before the job was given to him, I said, I'm Arteta out. Don't want him. Not good enough. and people will mask over it and say that he's won an FA Cup. Great, he might win the Europa League this season. I'll be over the moon, but I still don't think he's good enough. Yeah, a couple of cups for me don't mask over how poor he's been all season in the league.
I was just, listen, we were going to go into the Arteta situation. So talk to us. I mean, listen, even before we do that, let's go and have a look and see what happened the last time the two clubs met. I think it was back in September 2020. But many things have changed quite a lot. I mean, there's been so many ups and downs, in particular with Arsenal. So, Lee, I mean, give us a bit of a rundown and leading to tomorrow's game.
Oh man, like this season we started like this club's PR is amazing. I can't lie. Like the merchandise, we're the best in London for merchandise. I mean, look at this hoodie; it's beautiful. Like we dropped another new set the other day, but that's probably we are the best in London at the moment, and it's kind of sad because like people are sitting and go, "Oh, you're so negative. Like you're in Europa League, you're in the quarterfinal." Yeah, that's great, but I don't know. I'm just like, for me, I was brought up on you go for a title, you try and be the best. This season, we have been abysmal. Aubameyang just looks a shadow of the player he was last season or the season before. Like he just looks lost, and he really wound me up the other night. Like after being late for the team bus for a North London derby, I'm sorry, that's a disgrace. Should be stripped to that armband and give it to Kieran Tierney. Yeah, because that is a proper captain. He then starts the game in the Europa League, and he was one of the worst players on the pitch. But we somehow managed to get our way through that game. It weren't looking likely at one point. I was thinking, oh, here we go again. This is Benfica all over again. And we've kind of been lucky. We're more of a cup team now than a league team. But our league form has been abysmal. And that game that you just highlighted back in September, we got away with one there as well because Antonio missed a sitter. I think he hit the bar. Yeah, and I think it was about 3 yards out. And Gabriel ducked. And he didn't expect it because I think he thought Gabriel would win it. He hit the bar. If Antonio had finished his dinner that day, we would have been dead and buried. And against you lot, your ground last season, I think we've done you 3-1. Is that right? I think it was 3 after Martinelli, Pepe, and Aubameyang all scored. We've barely seen Martinelli ever since. I know he's had an injury, but we've not seen him a lot since then. And David Moyes, I can't lie, I don't rate him. I genuinely don't rate him. And the turnaround of this season, I think that not having fans at your ground has helped you lot massively because your fans were putting corner flags in the centre circle, like storming directors' boxes. It's like, I'd love our fans to have a bit of balls like that and a bit of passion to go and do the same. But I think the turnaround from finishing 6th, I think it was, to where you're at now, you got to give him a round of applause, man. He's done wonders. He's done wonders.
It's funny though, because like the fan base, I think there was a comment made from TalkSport, wasn't it, Matt, that said something about West Ham have definitely fortunes have changed, and they kind of highlighted the fact that the fans weren't in, and the fan base went wild at that comment. But there was also an element of truth in it, and I said it back then when the video came out. You know, there was a lot of turmoil at West Ham. Things were bad. Things were really, really, really bad, and a reset button needed to be hit. Now, the reset button doesn't mean that we forgive the board. Absolutely not. But something needed to give. Now, I want to be there. I'm desperate to be back in the stadium, as every West Ham fan is. However, it was just a little bit like maybe the players needed the reprieve, like you said, Lee. And maybe that has worked wonders. We don't know. But either way, we're giving a bit of consistency to David Moyes. We're backing the manager. We're getting
and the thing is, sorry to cut you off. The thing is, as well, is he got the job, I think, 9 days after Arteta got the Arsenal job. And people are saying, yeah, he won the FA Cup. Oh, like he's won 2 trophies. He ain't won 2 trophies. He's won 1 cup. And he's won the glorified soccer aid because that's all it is. Yeah, it is. It's just a charity match. Yeah, and it is. Let's be real. Like when you sit there when you're 40, 50, 60 and you've got your grandkids, you're not going to say, oh, I won a charity shield, are you? Come on. Yeah, like fair play, he won the FA Cup and I was buzzing with that. Like I love the FA Cup. And I grew up on the whole road to Wembley thing back in the day. You'll know that. Yeah, the whole road to Wembley, the helicopter following the coaches and all that. And it's like, maybe I'm just old school with it. And it just seems like modern football seems to forget these cup competitions, but all of a sudden, because he's won one, now he's the Messiah. And like the thing with Moyes and the thing with West Ham for me, I can't. Can I just say this as well? I cannot stand your stadium. Yeah, I refuse to go there. You need binoculars, mate. It's like what? Like it's literally what is that all about?
You're not the only one.
Most of the home fans say they wouldn't worry about it. West Ham
It's mad.
say the same.
But you know what? You've got worse owners than us. Apparently, you've got a worse manager than us. And I looked at your squad a couple of weeks ago. I did a stream on my channel. I looked at your squad. You've got 4 goalkeepers in your 25-man squad. You've got Mark Noble, who at this point should just be an extra in Towie. Like, just give it up, mate. Like, seriously, give it up.
Yeah, going for it, Lee.
Go down to Loughton. There he is. Go down to Loughton, club legend and all that. But go down to Loughton and go and get involved with the Towie lot. Yeah, get down Brentwood and all them ones. Have a couple of cocktails, mate. And then I see you've got our goalkeeper in goal, or our ex-goalkeeper, Flappy Ansky, who's actually been very good since he left us.
He has, actually. He has, yeah.
And I just look at it and I think, like, when you look at your summer spend, how you unearth Souček and Kufal from, ironically, the club we've got in Europa League next round? It's mad. You spent less money on all of your summer signings than we did on Thomas Partey.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But I think that's what comes.
That's
the massive difference in what Moyes has done, Lee, at West Ham. West Ham have not. We haven't been there, done that, wore the t-shirt. We did it for 1 season under Pellegrini. We backed him. We gave him 50 mil to go and buy a striker. He brought in Haller. He had 35 million to buy Anderson. Brought him in. Yarmolenko, 25 million. 25 million on a defender. Spent over 100 million in a summer. For West Ham, big money. Or well over 100 million, wasn't it, Matt? Big money.
140 million. Yeah. Stupid, wasn't it?
Yeah. Didn't work out. He goes and finds Soufal, £5 million. Fits in, like, honestly, like, unbelievable. Souček, what was he?
Over that fashion right back all day long, mate. I can't stand Bellerin.
Souček, 18 mil, had him on loan for 1 season, signed him permanently after that, 18 mil. Jared Bowen, what was he?
Another good player,
20 mil.
Yeah, 20 mil. And that's what Moyes is doing. It's not about the price tag anymore. It's about finding the player. And even if the player, he wants the younger players, but if the player fits into the system and he is a little bit older, then then so be it. And I mean, talk to me. I mean, Arteta, is he trying to bring through younger players? I mean, what is going on? I mean, when you look at the team selection from back in the game back then to now, there's dramatic differences.
Since he's been here, has not picked my favourite 11. He's farmed out some of them on loan. Saliba, I don't know what's happened there. He don't rate him. Guendouzi, I would take Guendouzi over Granit Xhaka in a heartbeat. Granit Xhaka has got the turning circle of the Titanic, mate. It's embarrassing for the fella. Yeah, when he runs forward, yeah, it's going beep, 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 because he's actually reversing. He's that slow. It's bad. Yeah, he's useless. He is one of the worst midfielders I've ever seen. Becky B, he calls himself Hecky B. No, Becky B at right back, rubbish. Flogged Maitland-Niles off to West Brom on loan. Yeah, I'll take Maitland-Niles over him all day long. Saliba I'd put in defence over Rob Holding. He shouldn't be at the football club. He ain't good enough. And Martinelli, what a footballer. Yeah, that guy is so talented. And he's been sat on the bench for 6 games in a row. Then he gets dropped. Then he gets 8 minutes the other night. And it's like, what are you doing to him? He got rid of, Balogun is another one. Balogun's out of contract in the summer. That kid is going to be a superstar, mate. I'm telling you, I am so convinced by this kid. And he's put him in the first team squad. He's played him in Europa League. He's played 78 minutes in Europa League, 2 goals, 1 assist. Never seen him again. Back in the under-23s. Reece Nelson, when he first took over, was going to be the next Raheem Sterling. He's been training and playing in the under-23s. He's now back in the squad, apparently. I'm sure I've missed a few as well. There's a couple of others. Joe Willock's on loan at Newcastle. I'd take him over Danny Ceballos. Danny Ceballos is like Kylie Minogue, bruv, just spinning around. He is absolutely crap. Yeah, like the goal the other night, we've let a 34-year-old striker score 3 games in a row against us because he tripped over the ball. It's like your technical ability. How Madrid signed you is a madness. They're like, there's a reason all the Barca bods are going to jail, mate. Yeah, I think Madrid might be next. Like, seriously, it's mad. Yeah, it's mad. It's like, I look at it and I just think, like, you look at all of our youngsters, the only one who's really, really progressed, maybe two, really, really progressed and got a starting berth every week is Saka, who Unai Emery brought through and was smashing it. Look at you. You lot are on point tonight. Yeah, and Smith Rowe. I bet you ain't got him, have you?
I'm just waiting for you to name them, and I'm like, shit.
But they're the only two that have really held down positions this season, and they were both doing bits last season. But people are saying, "Oh, he's blooding the youth." He ain't blooding the youth because he's killing off Martinelli. He's killed off Balogun. Eddie Nketiah, he called him back off loan to say, "Yeah, come and play." Played him for a few weeks, and now he was back in the under-23s the other week. Weren't training with the first team, and it's like he was the pet project, but now he can't get a game. And it's like it's so frustrating, mate. I can't stand Arteta. I can't stand him.
But what we're seeing is myself and Matt. I mean, Matt, we were going through some of the recent results. I mean, there's so much inconsistencies in Arsenal's season this season. Matt, what's your kind of thoughts on it?
Yeah, he said like he listed all the players they got rid of, and it's like they got. I mean, I've never rated Xhaka. He always seems to like either make a mistake or get sent off. And then like last season they brought in, I think you said under Emre, you brought in Torreira and Guendouzi. He shipped them both out. Xhaka's still playing in there. He's still got David Luiz in there. I don't know. I think you'd be better off playing David Luiz in midfield than Xhaka. Like, I don't think David Luiz should be at the back. It's weird though because you seem to go up and down. You'll get a couple of results when it's needed, and then you'll just like capitulate.
And then we're the only team in the Premier League, or the only team in Europe, that could have signed Thomas Partey, and our midfield's got worse. It's crazy. If you look at our midfield now, we've got Odegaard. Fair enough, he's coming, and he's actually done all right. To be fair to the lad, a bit disappointed we didn't sign him. You got a picture for that one. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed that we didn't sign him full term, which is why I wasn't too happy with the deal when it happened, because I was like, here we go, another Danny Ceballos, like blah, blah, blah. But he has actually been pretty good, to be fair to him. I just hope that maybe we can get him in the summer. But I just look at it and I think that you've let Torreira go. Well, he's better than El Neni. You've let Guendouzi go. He's better than Xhaka. You've let Joe Willett go. He's better than Ceballos. And we've got Partey and Odegaard. And you're playing Smith Rowe, who's a number 10 on the left wing because he could play left wing as a kid, like in the reserves. It just makes no sense. And that is why we're so inconsistent. I see a stat the other day as well, that we've played the same 11 in back-to-back games once in 3 years. That sums it all up for me. That's why we're inconsistent. We don't pick the consistent 11 every week. He doesn't know his best 11. He's had the job nearly 2 years. A year and a half he's had it. Yeah, and he ain't picked a consistent 11 because he don't know his best 11, and that's all well and good. And people say that I'm negative and I'm salty and I don't like, and I've got an agenda. That buzzword agenda, that needs to just be binned, mate. Like 2022, just leave that. Yeah, because I've heard that so many times in the last 18 months. It's mad. Yeah, my agenda's for my football club to do what they said they were going to do when they smashed the stadium down. Yeah, this manager came in and said we should be competing for the league regardless of the squad. That was his first ever press conference. He then said when we won the cup, the 8th and the FA Cup ain't good enough. So I'm going to hold him to his words. Yeah, and that's how I see it.
Yeah, man. Just it's mad just to see, just or even listen to you like talking and about your season. And I get it because you've seen, like you said, you've seen the best of Arsenal. We all have seen the best of Arsenal over the years. I can't help but think about the best of Arsenal, and then you see, Emery coming in and all the other changes that have been made, and and every now and then you get that kind of flamboyant display. I mean, talk to me. I mean, last weekend, you played the Spuds. You got a result, as we did as well. I mean, listen, our hands are going like that as well. Like it was. So I mean, but you were down 1-0, were you not? And then you came back to win the game 2-1. I mean, what happened there? Was that just the London derby that took over? And
mate, we actually battered them. If we're being honest, Lamela scored one of the best goals, if not the best goal of the season. What a finish! Like to do what he did. That was one of the most fluid Rabona goals I'm ever going to see in my life. What a goal. Yeah, he knocked Thomas Partey with it as well. It was just an insane goal. But we'd hit the bar, we'd hit the post before that. We were all over them. They did nothing. That was their first shot. And then we got the goals. We went 2-1 up. And then they get Lamela sent off. And after that, we just kind of panicked a little bit. And it was like, Harry Kane has a goal disallowed. Did nothing all game. He then hits the post. And then Gabriel with a saving header off the line from, I think it was Dele Alli or Sanchez. Can't remember who it was. But I rate Harry Kane. I really like him. Yeah, and like he came through our academy as well, which hurts me even more every time I see him play because he is such a good footballer. But it was like he was so crap in that game, but he could have had a brace. Yeah, and it's like that's Arsenal. That is Arsenal this season. We won the game, and I'm buzzing. Yeah, and that was the only day I've not said Arteta out since he's been here. I was like, I'll put that to one side for tonight. North London is red. Well, London's red, let's be real. Chelsea are trying, and they're going to overtake us at some point. But right now, London is red. But I just think that I don't know what was wrong with them at the weekend, but I think we made it even worse. Like, some went off, didn't help them. We were brilliant from the get-go. We absolutely hammered them. On another day that we could have gone in at half-time, like 4 goals. Yeah, but then we go and play the next game, and all of a sudden we look shaky again. It's like, that's us. We're up here, then we're down here. We're up here, we're down here.
Yeah,
it's mad, and that is because of the lack of consistency with the starting 11, the lack of consistency with an actual game plan. People keep telling me that he's improved the defence. We've conceded, I think, 7 or 8 goals less than Fulham.
No, I was about to say that's the one thing I don't think you guys can do. The same as Tottenham. I don't think Tottenham can defend. I think both of you have got so much going forward that you're better off just attacking.
And that's the thing. If you look at the league table and actually look at the goals against, we have got one of the best defences in the league. But having said that, we have conceded a goal in the last 11 or 12 games straight.
Yeah, so, you've got, I mean, in your 28 games this season, you've conceded 29 goals and with 8 clean sheets.
Yeah, there you go. So 20 games we've conceded goals then. So has he fixed it? I don't think he's fixed it. I think it's we're losing, and I see somebody say this on a podcast the other day, we're losing better. Well, a loss is a loss, whether it's by an inch or a mile, mate.
You're not shipping lots of goals, you're just losing like 1 or 2. Like,
yeah, we're losing 1-0 to City.
Is a loss,
losing
so
1-0 here.
Does it?
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, we sacked a manager for finishing top 4 every season because it weren't good enough, and then he finished 5th and 6th. We potted him. Yeah, I wanted him gone. I couldn't stand Wenger the last 8 years. Wanted him gone. We then bring in Unai Emery with a worse squad with Cech, Lichtsteiner, Jenkinson, Mkhitaryan, Welbeck. Who else was there? There were some right wrong-uns in that team. Iwobi. Yeah, like we finished 5th in Europa League, albeit we got spanked. That weren't good enough. We then sacked him after 13 games with 3 losses the next season. This manager then gets a bly, and it's, but he's inherited a mess. He ain't inherited a mess. He inherited the team that were Europa League finalists. He inherited a team that finished 5th. Yeah, he then finishes 8th and gets the cup. Cool. Now this season, go for it. And now we're worse. So I don't see how anyone can say that we're progressing. Yeah, we ain't. A few particular players I want to talk to you about then is the Lacazette and the Aubameyang thing. I mean, what's happening there? I mean, they don't play together really anymore, do they? I mean, can you see that ever really being a partnership again moving forward? Not under this manager, no. Under Emery, the full season he had with them, they had 71 goals and assists that season. 71. Yeah, we scored 73 league goals in Emery's full season. I think we're on 30 something this season, like 37 I think we're on. So we have to double that in the next 10 games. So we have to go 3.7 goals average in the next 10 games to score more. I think we're 22 goals better off defensively than under Emery, who was apparently wide open and was a mess. And we've still got 10 games. In them 10 games, we've got Liverpool, we've got Everton, we've got Chelsea, we've got Palace. You know, games that we're not very good at normally, apart from West Ham, to be fair. But you know, I don't want to dig either.
No, I know it's not me. It's
true. Off games left. And, like, I just think that he don't know what to do with Aubameyang. Like last season, he got away with it because he was playing him left and he was bailing him out. Literally, Aubameyang's efficiency last season was mad. Every shot, bang, it's in. Yeah, the cup final was proof of that. Yeah, he scored 2 in the final and bang, job done. Lacazette has been pretty decent at times this season. But under Emery, he found a way where we were more wide open, but we would attack. So, yeah, you'd concede 2, but you'd score 5. Yeah, and we battered Valencia 7 in the semi-final of the Europa League with Lacazette Aubameyang bagging a hat-trick in that. And it's like, to be honest with you, I don't really rate Lacazette. I genuinely don't. I'd bin him. He's got a year left on his contract come the summer. Get rid of him. Yeah, Aubameyang, wants to be a legend of this football club. Well, roll these up then, mate, and start showing it, because you can't turn up for a team bus late on a North London derby day and then drop a 0 out of 10 the following game. Disgusting. Yeah, and everything with Arsenal just stinks to me, man. It just stinks.
Well, you just obviously mentioned
the fans, and then this is the thing, like the owner ain't going to put pressure on the board, so that's where you need the fans to put pressure on the board. But our club is the best in the league at merchandise, and PR. We have got the best PR team in the world. Best PR team in the world. Structure, process, non-negotiable, culture, all these buzzwords, and we're 10th.
Well, you mentioned at the start there, this game tomorrow, you are feeling it. Tell me why. What is it about? I know you've briefly mentioned David Moyes. I know you've talked about the West Ham lineup, or not the lineup, but I mean, what is it you really are fearing? Is it Arsenal, or is it actually the West Ham change this season?
A bit of both. Jesse Lingard, I can't stand that little. I'm not going to say the word. Right, literally 6.
However you feel about it, it's the complete opposite of how I feel about it.
Mate, he was moonwalking in front of me at the Emirates. Look at him. Yeah, I can't stand him, man. Like, literally, that guy scored 4 goals in 7 appearances against us. I don't think he scored more goals against anyone. He always scores. Yeah, and like literally seeing that little clown moonwalk in front of me, I was fuming that night, man. Sanchez scored as well to top it off. Yeah, and it was just like fuming. But Mikel Antonio as well, he's a problem, mate. That guy is massive. Like, his thighs are huge, bro. It's like, if he runs in areas, like if he runs into you, that is going to hurt. Yeah, and I just feel that we got to get the defensive shape right tomorrow, because at the Emirates, if he had finished his chances, we would have lost, and we got out of jail in that game. Souček's a problem. Late runs into the box, corners and stuff like that. And it depends what midfield he goes with. Obviously, we've got international break after this game, so I'm expecting him to go with a full proper starting 11. But I expect him to do a lot of things. And
I was going to say, do you get what you expect? I mean, West Ham fans are so used to expecting something and not getting it at all. So I don't know what it's like as an Arsenal fan when you say, coming into an international break, you expect the full strongest 11 you can get. Do you think you'll genuinely get that? I mean, I'm going to bring up the side you put out against the Spuds last week. And I mean, what changes can you see being made from that for the game tomorrow?
To be honest with you, I can't stand Xhaka, but I'd probably go with that if I'm honest. Saka's a potential doubt. He's got a little bit of a hamstring knock, so maybe take him out, rest him up. He is in the international setup with England now, so maybe take him out and put Pepe in. But I'd go with that. Aubameyang, just stay at home for a week, mate. Just get your head together and come back. And if we're going to win the Europa League, we're going to need Aubameyang. So maybe tell him sort his life out and come back in a couple of weeks after international. So I'll probably go with that other than Saka and put Pepe in.
I mean, I can think about what West Ham fans are thinking right now, and even Matt, you're probably going through your mind. You're thinking, let's hope Arsenal are disciplining Aubameyang, because West Ham are so known for being that club when a player needs a goal to come up and score against us. And I'm just hoping that, I hope Lacazette turns up late tomorrow and gets dropped as well. So, I mean, listen, it's just the way it is. But Lee, obviously we've kept you on here for a little while. It's been great. But before you go, mate, 2 questions I've got to ask you is, who's the one player you fear the most from West Ham? 3 questions, I should say. One player you fear the most from West Ham, the player West Ham should fear the most tomorrow, and your predictions for the game.
Mikel Antonio, because I can see him bullying all of our centre-backs. Doesn't matter which partnership we put in. One player you should fear, Tierney. The guy can cross a ball so well. It is mad. I love him. He should be the captain. You got a picture of him. Look at that. Yeah. You came well prepped, mate. You just needed that Smith Rowe one. You would have got the jackpot. But yeah, he should be captain, man. That guy gets it. Look at him, shirt tucked in the lot. He loves it, bro. Yeah, maybe it'll snow tomorrow because he turns up even better in the snow. And score prediction, I'd love to say win, but I think 1-1.
Right, okay. Interesting. Matt, anything you want to add before we say goodbye to Lee?
I don't know. It's just, they're such a weird team these days. Like, they used to be everyone's second team. They've always played this amazing football. And then, I don't know, they got rid of Wenger because top 4 wasn't good enough. And never really covered since. And like you said, they've got all these like good young players, and Arteta doesn't play them and loans them out instead. And I know you need to get like loan out for progression, but when you're loaning them to other Premier League teams, you sort of think surely you'd been better off leaving them in the squad in the first place. You talk about like Maitland-Niles and Joe Willock, got like Torreira playing Atletico Madrid. I don't know. It's a weird team these days. I still worry because Arsenal West turn up against West Ham, but yeah, they're a weird team these days.
Yeah. Well, listen, Lee, it's been a pleasure having you on, mate. Thanks very much for doing it. And like I say to every guest, I wish you all the best after tomorrow's game. Of course.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, lads. Appreciate it, Matt. And say big up to the chat as well. And I wish you no luck tomorrow.
Yeah, there's been plenty of comments. There's been plenty of comments I've not put up for you, Lee, and there's been plenty of comments.
I've seen it. You've probably seen them all. Don't worry about that, man. I'm surprised it's been as calm as it's been, if I'm honest, mate. Because on my channel, they just get muted. But but no, I wish you luck for the rest of the season after tomorrow. Yeah, I hope you qualify for Europe, mate. So man. Thanks very much.
All right, cheers, mate. Take it easy, mate. Take it easy,
mate.
Cool, man. Really good, Matt. Yeah, good.
Hey,
good
brilliant.
opposition fan again. Get your comments in. Let us know your thoughts on obviously what Lee has been saying. Obviously, it's great to get that kind of insight again. Something we have forgot to talk to you about today, though, is the fact that today's video is, of course, sponsored by none other than OneFootball. Check out the video.
OneFootball have teamed up with West Ham United in sponsoring our channel for the Matchday Live videos, our Highlights in Words review videos, and the West Ham Weekly videos. OneFootball is a fantastic app that you can download onto your device by clicking the link on the description below.
I can't watch it anymore, right? So just do what he says. Go into the description below, click the link. It's OneFootball link. Download it. It's free, completely free. You can do it on your Apple phone. You can do it on your Android phone. It takes you to the Android shop or the Apple shop. Genuinely, I mean it. If you are watching, you are new and you haven't downloaded the app, go in and do it. It's a very, very good application. So they are, of course, sponsoring the video. Matt, mate, Lee, great guest. Very passionate. Like what? Where are we? There's comments coming in here. Forged from Iron, West Ham United. I think it's Gates's on. Lee was very articulate, passionate, and considered in his assessment. And he really was, mate. He really was, and he's right to be pissed off. You know, as we all are when things go wrong. What's your kind of thoughts and feels after what he said?
Well, yeah, I mean, he was actually very level-headed. You know, he was honest. He was accurate, and it was always interesting to see the insight into opposition. But you know, he's not wrong. Like, even on the outside looking in, like I've always grown up as Arsenal being like, you know, the Invincibles, and like, you know, he listed off how many frigging trophies did he list off that he's seen in the last 39 years that he's seen them win. And all of a sudden, you know, it got to the point where with Wenger it wasn't top four, wasn't enough, and now they're really struggling. Like, you know. I've never seen Arsenal finish like, you know, 10th, and there's a real possibility this year that they're going to finish 10th, and that's got to be, you know, that has got to be a disaster for Arsenal. Like, not even Europa League.
Yeah.
So, like you said, I think the only thing for them, like you said, it's international break now, so they do have a bit of time off. I'd have rather maybe played them last week, like in between the two games.
Yeah. Because,
like you said at the start, this is going to have to probably be their best bet of getting back into Europe this year. Will be to win the Europa League.
Of course. Yep. Well, I tell you what, mate. Let's stop talking Arsenal. Let's get back onto West Ham. Let's talk West Ham. Straight in to the Gaffer's press conference. What did the Gaffer say, Matt? Let's go and find out. First up, he's just having a chat about some of the players and their injuries. We've got just about everybody the same at the moment. Pablo Fornals is improving, and Angelo Ogbonna is getting closer to fitness, although not for this game. Arthur Masuaku and Yarmolenko are both getting closer too. So hopefully it won't be long until we're back to a full squad. Of course, you would have seen last night Masuaku and Yarmolenko actually played in the under-23s. They started the game in the under-23s last night. But what do you take from that in relation to the Pablo Fornals comment?
He hasn't given anything away, has he? It's typical Moyes. He's very like quick couple of words over him, like, oh, he's improving. Same for us, same for Arsenal, thinking, what does that mean? He's improving. There's rumours that he will be back. There's rumours that he won't be back. It's typical Moyes. He keeps everything tight under his chest. He doesn't like to show his cards off too early. I'm not really sure. Like, it could go either way with him by the looks of it, and he's trying to. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's going to be a tight, close decision. He doesn't want to say he will be and won't be. God knows.
Yeah. Let's have a look and see what else he's saying then. It's incredibly important if we're pushing for the top four, which we want to do. The top four is not something people were talking about before the season, but we're going to try and do our best for it. Doing his best for it is definitely going to be having to change up what he did last week, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it definitely is, because that wasn't our best, was it? I don't know. You can maybe argue with the players out. He was forced in his hand, but even then the tactics were awful. I suppose though, he hasn't got to do much better to improve on what he done last week. But look, there's 9 games left. You can say he's got 9 cup finals left to go out and give everything. And like I said, no one was expecting it, so he's got nothing to lose.
Yep. Let's go on to the next one. Jesse's looked very good in training. His fitness and all-round game has been great since coming in, and his physical data is getting better too. He's given us another string to our bow, so we're really pleased with him, and that's obviously with the news that Jesse Lingard is back in contention to start, obviously not being able to play against Manchester United in the week. And also on the back of the news that he's been recalled to the England squad due to his West Ham performances as of late. How important, Matt, is Jesse Lingard?
Well, he will be straight back in, won't he? You saw the difference not having him in the same against Man United and having Mark Noble in that position, that he's just not the same player. His ability to press high up the pitch and then carry the ball as well. We all said it was a thing we were missing, and he's come in and shown it, and then yet again proven the point that he's the player we've missed. As soon as he had the game, he couldn't play. We didn't look half the team going forward without him. So, I have no doubts he'll be straight back in. Like, no debate.
Yeah, no debate at all, 100%. Just a few more to go through. Let's see if I've got this. I've just done that one. It would be terrific if we could win, because we've done well at home and we're showing consistency in our form here. We're in a period where we've had some difficult games, and I remember when those fixtures were brought out at the start of the season, people were like, wow, West Ham have a tough start. We're in that run again now. We want to hang in there, and we want to keep up with the top boys, and we want to pick up as many wins as we can. Is that a little bit of fighting talk coming from Moyes?
Yeah, and hopefully it's something he said to the players as well. Because, this is, I saw a thing the other day, and it highlighted like teams going for the top 4 and the top 6 and their run-ins. And we did have one of the easier run-ins. We had a couple of hard games, and then we've got an easier streak. But like you said, we had that 7 games at the start of the season. I think we got like a 5-game spell here where we got back-to-back hard games again.
Yeah.
But, Moyes and the team have got to take confidence in the fact that we did so well the first time that we can do it again. It's not like we just did that one spell and went on like a 10-game losing streak. We're still up there, proving we can be there. And maybe reassess it to himself. Like,
and a victory tomorrow, though, Matt, would take West Ham to 4 wins in a row at home. And the last time we did 4 consecutive top-flight home wins was back in May 2002 under Glenn Roeder. May he rest in peace. So, yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big opportunity for West Ham, really, to progress there. And see what happens. And then, here we go. All clubs need to have it. However you get it, put it down to winning. It might sound like quite a simple answer, but I think it builds a spirit and makes things easier, especially at this time when you can't socialise together. We've got a really good team spirit at the moment, a really good group of players, and we hope that continues. And you can totally see that, Matt, can't you? You can see that there's a lot of unity with the West Ham squad and the West Ham team and everything from the coaching all the way through.
Yeah, Rice said a couple of weeks ago, was it that might have been off the Tottenham game? It might have been, he said it's the best squad he's been with and it's the best, morale. He said all the players can't wait to get into training every day. And while you do want to hear that and while you expect that, I can imagine that, in the seasons when you've got relegation and you're fighting relegation, losing every week, you probably don't look forward to the games. You're probably dreading it, thinking, is it going to be my mistake this week that cost us? Whereas the positivity from winning every week, they're probably loving life right now. There's no stress. They can all go out and have fun. And, was it winning breeds winning?
Yeah.
So
it does, mate. It does. Absolutely. And you can definitely see that within the West Ham squad. It's just now a case of, obviously, we're not performing well against the so-called top six. And tomorrow's going to be a massive game for West Ham to try and progress that and knock that, what do you call it, rod off the back and try and progress and move forward and getting a win tomorrow, would be a fantastic start because we've got tough games coming up against Leicester and Wolves. It doesn't matter if you think that Wolves have been struggling as of late. We all know that they are capable on their day. Make sure if you're watching and you're new to the channel, go in and subscribe.
Remember, we're all doing that in front of him. We're all buying, and he was out.
And just before myself and Matt start to dissect what team we would like West Ham to put out, and before we do that, we're also going to some of the comments. Start putting your comments in about who you would like to see start the game against Arsenal tomorrow. Garino, I seen your comment, mate. I know they're not the top six. I said so-called top six because they're still defined as the so-called top six when they ever go into these European Cup, Super League conversations. It's always them that are involved. So talk to us and get your comments in about the starting 11 that you would like to see for the game tomorrow. However, Matt, we are going to go through this. And let's put up the team that we put up against Manchester United last time out. What formation do you think Moyes will do? I mean, surely to God, he's not going to go the same, remotely similar to what he did against Man United, is he?
I reckon he'll go back to back four again.
Oh, mate.
I've been right so far. I can see him go back to back four.
Are you worried about that?
No. I'm not.
Yep.
Because barring about three players, that Arsenal team's decidedly average.
Yeah.
I like Tierney as a left back. I think he's probably one of the best left backs in the league. I like Partey, but he's a destructive defensive midfielder who's not really, he's been in and out of the team with injuries. Odegaard is quality talent that Real Madrid have got on their books. They've loaned out to him. Saka, but then, as Lee said, Saka might not even make it, which I didn't know about, so that's a big boost. And then they got whichever one of the two centre-forwards they play. That's about four players out of the whole team. So I don't think Moyes will. I think he'll go back to back four. I don't think he'll worry about them.
Yep.
As much as he did Man United.
I mean, loads of comments in here as well, and we'll start to dissect it as well. Mark Alexander saying 2 changes, Benny and Lingard in for Noble and Johnson, Fornals and Benny to start, Bowen on the bench, Forge from Iron, Gatesy saying Fabianski, Creswell, Dawson, Diop, Soufal, 4 at the back, Rice, Souček protecting, Benrahma, Fornals, Lingard and Antonio. I know we're going to go through the 11, Matt, but I'm pretty much agreeing with that lineup. Are you?
Maybe 1 or 2 changes, but yeah.
What do you think then?
If we start up, I think we can. I think it'll be about 4. And with that comment, I think the back, should we say, the back 4 and the goalkeeper, back 7, the back 4, the goalkeeper, and the midfield 2. We know it's always going to be That's rock solid. Moyes will not change that because he's always defensively sound and going forward. So Fabianski, Creswell, Dawson, Diop, Soufal, Rice and Souček is always guaranteed. At the moment, if they're fit, they'll play.
Yeah.
I think Antonio will start up front. It's the three behind that I'm looking at. I think.
Well, Lingard will start.
We can all agree Lingard will start.
Yep.
It's the other two. Now, if Fornals is fit, I believe Fornals will start.
Mm-hmm.
But he has this thing about Benrahma, and I've got a feeling that he might even start Bowen in front of him.
Yeah. I mean, this Fresh Fielder is agreeing with you on that. But although he's putting Benrahma in, and obviously Fornals is not playing.
If Fornals isn't playing, I could see that team. If Fornals isn't fit.
Yep. So, what do you think Moyes is going to do then? Realistically, I mean, we've got many people in the chat here saying that Bowen needs to start, Bowen needs to be benched. Still saying that Lanzini's been bigged up. People watch Moyes select him over Benrahma. Fresh Fielder saying doesn't think that Fornals will be ready. Oh God, there's so many comments here. It's just tough to keep up. Kieran is saying Benny won't start. Bowen will have to look after Tierney. Still saying Fornals is out. It's not confirmed, but I think he's going to be facing a late fitness test. So we'll need to keep an eye on that one. What do you think then? I mean, Antonio, I'm agreeing with that. I'm agreeing with that 7. I'm agreeing with Antonio up top because I think he'll cause them problems. But for me, though, Matt, there's definitely an Arsenal defence that's there for the taking.
Yeah.
And we've got options now. We've got, let's just talk about, let's not include Lingard because we know he's going to play. So we'll look at Bowen, we'll look at Fornals, we'll look at Lanzini, and we'll look at Benrahma. And that's the 4 players. Well, you could maybe even say Noble if you really wanted to. But we don't expect... No, I know, but we have to put him in that equation, right? So we know out of those 5 players that we reckon Noble isn't going to play. And that leaves Bowen, Benrahma, Fornals, and Lanzini. Still makes a valid point when Moyes does talk a lot about a particular player. It's a hint and a tip that sometimes he may start. Now, I've not, from my investigating, I've never done... I look into the press conference, but I don't read the whole transcript because there's a shitload of transcript there. And do you see Lanzini getting a shot tomorrow?
If Moyes is speaking about him, then yeah, there's a chance. But for me, I still stick to my gun and say I don't think he's a good starter anymore. I put him in the same class as Yarmolenko. I wouldn't start him. I don't think he's got the legs to do it. I'd rather start Benrahma or Bowen.
Yeah,
I could see it, but in some ways I can't because I don't think Lanzini could play and he could start if he's playing as a number 10 in the hole, right? Because he probably hasn't to do as much running. But generally speaking, when Lingard's been playing there, so unless you're going to force Lingard out onto the wing, it's...
The thing about the game tomorrow is that West Ham need to take the game to Arsenal and not do what we've done against the so-called top 6 sides. And you're talking about an Arsenal side that are extremely inconsistent. However, they have top-notch quality players. They've got a struggle in defence. They've got an inconsistent defence. They've also got a bit of an inconsistent forward attacking lineup because they've between injuries and obviously falling out with the manager, turning up late, all that sort of stuff. But you still can't remotely remove the fact that they've got 2 quality strikers that Lee mentioned earlier on in one season were partial to 70 odd goals between them, assists and goals. I mean, Matt, that's frightening numbers. And I know it's not been like that this season. However, if they're going to be playing for something, there's going to be players that are looking over their back and going, listen, I want to be in that Europa League. I want to be in this cup competition. I want to be pushing the club back up the league. We need to be fearful of that. Fornals is fit. I think we're going to have to really rely heavily on Fornals to cover the ground. But then it leaves the other player. And for me personally, I think it's got to be Benrahma, because I think they may struggle with him, their defence. They've got defenders that step out of position, Matt, and that's what Benrahma wants. And if Antonio can bully their defence, I'm just hoping that Moyes can see that that's where they struggle, and that's where we could have the get through. The fact that Lingard will press like we've always seen, and make sure that we are keeping their defence back and put them under pressure. Did they not concede a goal recently because they were put heavily under pressure? Was it at Burnley?
Oh yeah, and
they hit it off of.
They were trying to play it from the back, weren't they? And Xhaka tried to play a pass across the edge of his own 6-yard box and just smashed it into Chris Wood, and it basically ricocheted in. And you can see how Sean Dyche has gone. Just press their defence, and that's where the Lingard effect, because Lingard playing tomorrow, Matt, does actually change West Ham's style dramatically, because we just don't sit back. It literally hasn't happened since he's played. That's also why I could see it being Bowen and Lingard for the work rate.
Yeah,
I think if Fornals is fit, I could see it being Fornals and Bowen. If Fornals isn't fit, then for me, I think it'd be Benrahma.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, people in here saying Lanzini and Benrahma never got a chance like Bowen and Fornals. Toby Rutter is saying, I'm an Arsenal fan and our defence is very dodgy, but Partey and Xhaka are able to put the shift, and now Saka's fit to play. I expect a good game. I wasn't sure if Saka was going to make it. However, if you're saying he will, that'll be an interesting one, because I know he's been a very kind of important player for you. Toby Sampson saying we will have King Arthur back soon, and then nothing can stop us. Absolutely, mate. What a fantastic player Arthur Masuaku is for West Ham, isn't he, Matt?
It gives us another option going forward. Sticking on the left wing.
It does.
Pace and skills go forward.
Yeah. Cheers, Paul. Thanks. Been spot on. Stel, do you hear that? Been spot on. Myself and Matt are going to talk a little bit more about West Ham, but in the meantime, I want you to get your predictions in for the game tomorrow. Matt, what is it that West Ham need to do tomorrow to beat Arteta's Arsenal?
Don't play like they played last week, for a start.
How bad was it?
He was limited in his players, but it was the tactics rather than the team that he got wrong. Like, playing 5 at the back isn't necessarily a defensive thing, but playing 5 at the back and then just telling no one, like, don't have any sort of attacking impetus, don't go forward, don't leave any space, it didn't work. Then, like you said, Arsenal, I sat here last week and I said Man United's back 4 is decidedly average. Like, it doesn't scare me. And I think Arsenal's defence is worse than Man United's. I think the only guy I rate, I like the goalkeeper. I think Leno's decent. I like the left back, but the centre backs, no matter which centre backs they pick, I think are all average. Bellerin's a pace merchant, but his defending and attacking is not great. Suarez isn't much better. We need to attack. We need to press. They still play out from the back. Arteta still thinks he's coaching Man City. And he thinks he's got that calibre of player, and he's trying to play that calibre of football with a lower level calibre of player. He's not doing the coaching for Pep at Man City anymore. He's leading Arsenal. And Arsenal just don't have the players to play out from the back and play the same football. Don't get me wrong, there is times when they've done it, it looks fantastic. But then there's also, like they had against Burnley last week, when Xhaka tried to just drill it across the edge of his 6-yard box and smashed it into Chris Wood and it went in. Like, you can get them. And like you said, in the first game, at the start of the season, they were begging us to win that game. Like, they didn't want to win that game, Arsenal. They couldn't have given us more chances if they tried. It's just attack them. Be brave. That's one thing I say to David West tomorrow. Be brave. Be
fucking brave, Moisey. Yes. Be brave. I do think he will, because Lingard is back. That's probably... I don't know. Maybe that's the only part of West Ham that you can really read. I mean, I don't know if someone's put the comment in the chat on purpose to say about Masuaku, but I mean, is there a chance? Do you think he'll be in the squad tomorrow? I know he played last night. is that rushing him back too much, or is that
It-
them going? Do you know what? I mean, it's
You
a
know what?
Moisey thing. It's a Moisey thing.
Him and Yarmolenko both played, didn't they? They both played about 75
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if they made the bench.
Yeah.
Just to give some frigging numbers. Like, if we go back to that team, well, I don't know if you've got it on you or not, but we go back to that team last week. I'm going to get my own phone quickly. If you go back to that team that we played last week, you haven't got the bench there, but the bench last week was shocking. Yeah. We go back to, where is it? I'm trying to get my phone.
I've got it here. Where are we? There we are.
All right. We had 3 attacking players on the bench.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we didn't even have the 9 men on the bench. We only had 8. It is a 9-man bench now these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've only had 8. We only had 8 on the bench. So we were 1 short last week, and we had 2 goalkeepers and 2 defenders on the bench. We had, commentary as a holding midfielder, box to box ish. You've got Lanzini, Ben Ramanu, Biku. So it wouldn't surprise me if both Masuaku and Yarmolenko both went on the bench, just so that we're back down to 1 goalkeeper and you've got a full allotment of players out.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you've got the Stell's on the hate again from Masuaku. I mean, Stell, you need to support your team. You need to support your players. Although, if you do support your team, you'd be supporting Chelsea. So maybe that's why you dislike Arthur Masuaku so much. Let's get on to people's predictions. There's plenty here. I'm just trying to go as far up as I possibly can to find them. I'll come on to yours in a minute, Matt. Steve Fleming saying 2-0. West Ham. I'd absolutely love that and take that right now. Mark Alexander saying 2-1 West Ham. Yazir is saying 2-1 Arsenal. Hope not. Jay Yaz is saying 3-1 West Ham. West Ham to dominate and lose 2-1 from Kieran. Kieran, I hope that's reverse psychology.
That's what we did in the first game.
Yeah, Scott Randall 2-1. Stell saying 2-1. Forwards from Iron Gatesy, West Ham 2, Arsenal 1, giving us goal scorers, Lingard, Creswell, Arsenal, Pepe, Horns, Wasler, 2-0 to us, Benny to get both goals. I mean, if he got a brace, mate, it would be on that, he'd just let rip then for the last 9 games. I mean, there could be an element of that. I mean, listen, you remember when we played Tevez, and that's all it was. That's all we needed Tevez to do was get that goal. And it was that Tottenham free kick, wasn't it? And then after that, he went on some crazy goal-scoring record. Like, it was brilliant. And I think we won, was it 7 or 8 games in the last 9 or something? We won, and we lost that game against Tottenham, but it was the game that kick-started the
we lost to Tottenham,
season.
We lost to Sheffield United, and we pretty much won like every other game. Yeah,
I think that was it, yeah. Vinay saying 3-0 West Ham if Benny, Lingard and Antonio play. If Noble starts in a defensive formation, a 1-0 loss. And it's a valid point, Vinay. Absolutely valid point. Noble is a good soldier. Pick him. He will try his best. Not his fault. And Neil is saying 1-0. Moyes will not want to lose more than what he wants to win this one. If we attack, 4-1 to us. If we defend, 2-0 loss. Kent is saying if we play 4 for a length of time and not play 5, you're just talking about kind of keeping in and selling players. Words and Pictures is saying Anton 2021, be fucking brave, Moisey. Be brave. He should though, mate. I mean, it's as simple as that. He just needs to be brave, 100%. Matt, over to you, mate. What's your predictions?
I'm going to go 3-1.
Right up there. Come on.
Yep,
goal scorers.
3-1. Lingard, Fornals and Dawson.
Right, okay. Interesting. Oh man, you've put me under pressure here. 3-1, Matt. 3-1. Okay. I'm gonna go 1-0 West Ham. 1-0 West Ham. I think it's gonna be tight again. I don't know. No, I don't think it's gonna be 1-0. I really don't.
What are you saying then? What are you picking?
3-2. There you go. That's how dramatic of a difference. That's what I really believe. Now you can tell the passion's coming out. 3-2 to West Ham. I think we'll concede. I think we'll score. I think Dawson will come up with a banging header again. Benrahma starts. He'll cause them a bit of trouble. But I think this game in particular, Matt, is a game made for Antonio, and that probably leads me to the next question. Who should Arsenal fear the most for the game tomorrow?
I'm just going to go with Lingard. Because
Yeah.
you've seen how much of a difference he's made. And then, as Lee said when he was coming on earlier, that how many goals he scored? He said he scored more goals against Arsenal than the other Premier League team.
Oh,
And
gosh.
he's got some insane record against them. So, Lingard's going to be up for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll go Lingard.
Mark's saying good to see Matt's put some pictures up evening, by the way.
Mate, I'm moving in a couple of weeks, so I don't want to bother putting anything up.
I think the player that they need to watch is actually going to be Antonio. I think they're going to be concentrating potentially on all the players we've discussed and slightly forget about the fact that they've got the incredible Hulk up front who will just go up and smash people about and cause their defence a lot of problems. And I think that's hopefully what I'd like to see. So I think that would be a player to watch. Who do you fear the most from Arsenal?
It's difficult because whichever one of the two centre forwards plays normally like scoring against us. But I'm actually going to go, if he starts, because I know his moves about his fitness, is Saka. I think he's been by far their best player this season. Saka, and he looks menacing. He looks a threat when he goes forward. He creates. Yeah, I'll give it to him. I'm guessing I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I reckon he'd be Arsenal's player of the season so far.
Yeah.
So I'd say we've got to watch out for him if he's
available. I'm not going to lie, Matt. I'm going to fear Lacazette just because he's got a good goal scoring record against West Ham, and he always pops up even when he's not on form and scores a goal. So I definitely do fear him. Stel is saying, obviously, Stel has watched our show and just repeated the comment that we mentioned. If Moyes is brave tomorrow, we'll match 4 Premier League game wins in a row, not done since 2002 under Roder. Honestly, Stel, it's like word for word. Honestly, you must be. That brings an end, Matt, to our preview. It's been an interesting one, a good one. We had a great opposition fan on. Before we go, I just want to update you on some of the stuff that's happening on the channel. Over the past couple of days, we've been doing and trialing and testing something called Shorts. It's short, little videos that go onto the channel and appear in a little kind of vertical format. What it is we're going to be doing them daily. They're no more than a minute long. They do go into our video catalogue. However, they're going to be branded under the Shorts element. So it's like little stories. Please go and check them out. And really what we're going to be trying doing is letting you know what's coming up in the... We're going to let you know what's coming up in the coming days or that day, or if there's any kind of breaking news or whatever, we'll be putting those videos out. We're not going to be promoting those videos as such. They're just going to be going up on the channel. So please go and check them out and give them a quick like. So things like, for example, Masuaku and Yarmolenko started the game yesterday. Of course, you only get 60 seconds to talk. So it's very tough to get a lot of information in. So you need to just put quick information in. So go and check them out and let us know what your thoughts are on them. We'll be back tomorrow for the Matchday Live. Kickoff is what time, Matt?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, my word,
Yeah.
What's going on? We've got a 3 o'clock kickoff. We'll be on at 1:50 p.m. I've not spoke to the missus, but I'll need to go and double check that. I'm leaving here right now and I'm going to go speak to her and beg her to let me do the whole show.
Negotiating, yeah,
do some negotiating. However, we'll be on tomorrow at 1:50 or 1:45. We'll bring you some team news. We'll have some guests coming on to talk. I like you in your shorts. Yeah, no worries, mate. Cheers. Who's that? Words and Pictures. So yeah, check that stuff out. So we'll be on. Oh, there you go. Still saying we'll be on at 1:45. So we'll be on at 1:45 with some team news, talking about the game, etc. We'll then come to you live straight after the game with a highlights and words show, which is our review show. Still, the diva is not doing his West Ham Weekly on Sunday night. He'll be doing it again on Monday night. I think Alf is back on Monday afternoon with a confidential show. Tuesday, Matt, we've got the player ratings coming back to you again. And yeah, we'll keep you up to date as we go along with the channel. But please do me a favor, lads and ladies and gents, hit that subscribe button, hit the comment, leave us a comment, and hit the thumbs up. Still, I really hope I've not wound you up, mate, but it looks like I have. So a job has been done. And for everyone else that's in there, really pleased to see you. Garino, thanks for watching. Force Fine, cheers Gatesy, cheers Reese, hope you're well, mate. Mark Thomas, thank you very much for watching and keeping stuck in. Cheers Scott, What's this one? So true. Words and pictures. Scott, thanks. Really good to catch up with you again. Mark came in late, but love these streams absolutely. And listen, there's so many of yous up there that we could go through, but it's been really, really tough to do it. So this professional will be back tomorrow, and that's me and Matt. So we'll see you then. Cheers, Stel. Thanks for doing that. This has been at West Ham and United. Comment, like, subscribe. He's been Matt. I've been Anton. Get behind the side tomorrow. Come on, you Irons.